You had 2 weeks to do it. You did almost none of it until the night before, when suddenly, in a few electric hours, you produced the entire thing. And a quiet, uncomfortable question follows you afterward. If I could do it in one night, what were the other 13 days for? You're not lazy, and you're not broken. You're running into one of the most reliable laws of human behavior, one that quietly governs your time, whether you notice it or not. And once you see how it works, you can start using it instead of being used by it. In 1955, a British writer named Cyril Northcote Parkinson opened an essay with a single devastating sentence. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Give yourself an hour to write an email, and it somehow takes the full hour. Give yourself a week, and the same email haunts you for a week. The task doesn't actually contain that much work. It inflates, like a gas, to fill whatever container of time you hand it. This is Parkinson's law, and it's the reason a job that could take 2 focused hours can somehow consume an entire, exhausting day. Parkinson didn't pull this from thin air. He'd watched government offices, and he noticed something absurd. Departments grew and grew, adding staff and paperwork, even when the actual work stayed flat or shrank. The number of people and the hours consumed had almost nothing to do with the size of the job. The work simply swelled to justify whatever resources it was given. What he'd spotted in sprawling bureaucracies is the exact same force running inside your own week. Hand a small task a big allowance of time, and it will hire imaginary work to fill every hour. Extra worry, extra fussing, extra delay. So why does work behave like a gas? Because most tasks don't have a fixed size. They have a size you assign through attention. Give a project a week and you'll find endless ways to fill it. Research you didn't need, tiny tweaks, second-guessing, a fresh coat of worry over every detail. The empty time doesn't get left empty. It gets packed with hesitation, perfectionism, and low-grade dread. The work itself might be small, but the container is large, so the effort and the anxiety expand until they touch every wall. There's a psychological trap hiding in here too. A task you haven't started feels safest to keep polishing in your head rather than finishing on paper, so the extra time gets spent rehearsing the work instead of doing it. More time doesn't produce a better result. It usually just produces more suffering around the same result, stretched over more days. Psychologists studying project teams even gave this a name: student syndrome. Given a deadline, people start at the last possible moment, so any safety margin built into the schedule is instantly swallowed before the work has even begun. Give a student 3 weeks for an essay, and the essay begins the night before it's due, exactly as it would have if they'd been given 3 days. The buffer you add to be safe doesn't make the work start earlier or end better. It just gets absorbed into the delay, until the only thing that reliably triggers action is the deadline breathing down your neck. Now here's the flip side, the part that explains your all-nighter. When the deadline finally looms, the container suddenly shrinks to a few hours, and the work, obediently, shrinks with it. All the inflation collapses. The perfectionism evaporates. The second-guessing goes silent, and you do only what actually matters, fast. That last-minute burst feels like magic because it kind of is. You accidentally gave the task a tiny container, and it finally sized itself correctly. The deadline didn't give you more energy. It stripped away all the room the task had been using to expand. There's real biology under that final hour focus. Psychologists mapped the relationship between pressure and performance a century ago, and it looks like an upside-down U. Too little pressure, and you're flat, unmotivated, easily distracted. That's day 3 of 13, when nothing feels urgent. As pressure rises, focus and performance climb with it, up to a peak. The approaching deadline floods you with just enough stress to sharpen attention, silence distraction, and lock you in. That's the sweet spot you keep stumbling into by accident at the last minute. The point where the pressure is finally high enough to make you fully show up. But before you decide procrastination is a secret strategy, look at the cost you're not counting. Push past the peak of that curve and performance falls off a cliff. Too much pressure and you panic, freeze, make sloppy mistakes. Last-minute work leaves no margin. One thing goes wrong, one file corrupts, one interruption hits, and there's no time left to recover. Worse, you pay for those 13 days in advance, in dread. The task sat there the whole time, an open weight on your mind, quietly draining you even when you weren't touching it. You didn't get 2 free weeks. You got 2 weeks of low-grade stress and 1 night of panic. So here's the move. Stop waiting for real deadlines to save you, and start building fake ones that do the same job earlier. Give a task far less time than feels comfortable. Decide the email gets 10 minutes, the report gets 90, and hold the line like the clock is real. Break a big project into small pieces, each with its own tight, near-term deadline, so the pressure stays useful instead of arriving all at once at the end. This is time boxing, and it works precisely because it weaponizes Parkinson's law. You're deliberately handing each task a small container so it can inflate. Once you see time this way, you stop treating deadlines as threats and start using them as design tools. A tight, self-imposed deadline is how you tell a task exactly how big it's allowed to be. It forces the decision every inflated project avoids. What actually matters here, and what is just filler and fear. Done well, this doesn't make your life more stressful. It makes it dramatically less so, because the work gets smaller, the dread gets shorter, and your evenings come back. You trade one long, low ache for one short, focused sprint, and you come out the other side with time you thought you never had. Once you know the law, you start seeing it everywhere. Book a 1-hour meeting and it fills the hour, even if the decision could have been made in 10 minutes. So the smartest teams schedule meetings for 25 minutes and watch them finish on time. Give yourself a free Saturday to sort out the house, and the single chore devours the whole day. Hand your inbox an open-ended morning, and email swells to swallow it. The fix is the same every time. Name the real output, give it a deliberately short window, and stop. An unbounded task will always take everything you've got. A bounded one takes only what it needs. So the next time you catch yourself with 2 weeks in a task that could take 2 hours, remember what's really about to happen. The work will swell to fill every day you give it, charging you in anxiety the entire time, and then collapse into a single frantic night anyway. You can keep letting the last minute rescue you, or you can move the last minute earlier on purpose and reclaim everything in between. Time doesn't manage itself. Left alone, it gets devoured. The skill is learning to hand each task a container just big enough, and not 1 hour more.